Hey, what's up guys, it's Max here bringing you another Black and White 2 PO battle, and today we have an OU battle against Wargiam or something like that. People on PO have really weird names, okay, don't sue me if I cannot pronounce them properly, but yeah, it's an OU battle, once again. It is using my new rain team I just recently made. I know I do tend to make a lot of new teams, but there's just so much stuff to test out and seeing which ones are the best, so yeah, if you really guys want to see it, I might do live PO with this one as well. I'm just trying to get some people to do it with me. So in this battle, we have rain versus sand, and it's kind of a bit of a weather war. And he's also using Volturn as well, which makes it even worse. So let's see how I'm able to play around it. He's going to lead off with his Tyranitar. I lead off with my Ferrothorn. I have predicted him to switch up to lead with his Tyranitar half. Just want to get my hazards up. We both exchange Stealth Rocks first turn, which is fine. As he goes out into his Skarmory, I do sort of predict the switch, and I go for the Leech Seed, and that will be residual damage on his Skarmory. And now I'm going to switch out because I feel this is a good time to send in my Politoed to get the rain up as he goes for the spikes, and I don't know why he's trying to set up his hazards because he's probably seen a Starmie on my team in the team preview anyway, so I can spin those away at any moment I wish. But here S goes for Toxic on my Politoed, which is something I've never really seen on Skarmory. Usually just runs Whirlwind and Hazards and Roost and maybe an attacking move. But yeah, luckily for me, I do carry the Refresh, so Politoed will be status free and at full health once again. But his Rotom Wash is in here. I know I can't take a Volt Switch, and luckily for me, he is Scarfed. If he was a bulky Will-O-Wisp or Chesto Resto set, he could have the Will-O-Wisp to burn my Ferrothorn. But luckily for me, he isn't, and right when he sent out his Landorus, I did realize he was Volturn, and I'm like, crud, this is gonna be so annoying. But, yeah, here I kinda didn't really expect him to U-turn, he might have just Earthquake, so I went for the Power Whip, and obviously Skarmory can take that easily, and I was kinda fearing the taunt right here in case I went for the Leech Seed, but instead he decides to go for the Roost, which gets most of his Skarmory's health back, and it will increase his survivability. But now I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin to get rid of these nasty hazards, and basically because I do have a Dragonite on this team as well. But he goes into Landers, predicting my Thunder to take out the Skarmory. But I know better than that, so I'm going to go out into my Politoed because Politoed is my physical wall-ish sort of thing. But that is kind of a bad play because he can just U-turn out and then he goes back into Rotom Wash. So it's just a continuous cycle of Volt Switch and U-turn. But here, and to make matters worse, he goes for the Trick, and my Ferrothorn is pretty much useless now because I have a Choice Ferrothorn, and Choice Ferrothorn cannot really do much. I just choose to lock myself into the Leech Seed in whatever he wanted to switch out into. He goes into Tyranitar, which I guess is okay. I do get some damage on it, but now he probably should have predicted me to switch out just because I was locked into the Leech Seed because he tricked me, so he probably should have predicted me to switch out and went for one of his stabs, but he just goes for Superpower, so it allows me to get my Politoed up with the free rain, and I just wanted to Scald whatever wanted to come in. I wanted to get the burn or something like that. Unfortunately, I do not get the burn on the Skarmory, and he probably should have not sent it in. He probably should have sent in his Rotom Wash like he did here, so because it can't take it, Skarmory cannot really take it as well. So I unfortunately do not get the burn again on this Rotom Wash, but it doesn't really matter too much because he's going to go for the Volt Switch again, and then he's going to go out into his Tyranitar. And here's a questionable play because, yes, he does get his Sand up, and he's going to go for the Superpower right here. I know my Ferrothorn can take one. As long as he doesn't have the Fire Blast, he can take any move from this Tyranitar, and I can finish him off with the Power Whip with this -1 defense. So he basically just lost his Tyranitar and the Weather War. So, yeah, so he goes into Heatran, and that gives me a free opportunity to go out into my Politoed, and that will give me permanent rain for the rest of the match. He predicts my switch, and he goes for the Dragon Pulse, and unfortunately he gets a crit, and that does kind of come into play later on, because he's going to send his Skarmory, and with this Rotom Wash Gun, nothing on his team can even take a Water-type attack, so his Skarmory's going to go down to a Scald, and then in comes his Terrakion, and because his Heatran got the crit with the Dragon Pulse, a close combat will be enough to finish off my Politoed, which is unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure he was choiced. At the end of the battle, I do find out he was probably banded. So I pick this switch, and I go for the Substitute as he goes to the Heatran, and I can't really touch his Heatran, but because this is the Parashuffler Dragonite, as usual, I just love Parashuffler Dragonite. I go for the Thunder Wave, and the basis around this team is how Dragonite and Jirachi synergize really well, and with Pair Shuffler, Dragonite, and Jirachi, I can Pair Flinch and all that good stuff. So this is kind of what this team's supposed to do, as you'll see in these next couple of turns, because I predict him to switch out because Heatran can't really do anything in the rain, even with this fire type attack. So I went for the Wish, but he turns out he stays in, and unfortunately he gets paralyzed, and then he gets paralyzed the second turn. But I'm just gonna go for Thunders because I know Iron Heads will not be doing a whole lot to this Heatran because it quad resisted. I'm just gonna go for Thunder. It does quite a bit of damage, but look at this Fire Blast. That did half to my Jirachi. Jeez, and that was in the rain too. So that is a pretty powerful Heatran, and he's not even like specs or anything. He's leftovers. So dang, Heatran's pretty powerful. But I'm just gonna continually spam Thunder, and he predicts that he goes out into his Landers, which was a good play, because he's immune to it, and then he can fire up an Earthquake or a U-turn or whatever he chooses. But luckily I do get my Jirachi up to full, and here he predicts my switch, and he goes for the Stone Edge, and I switch out into my Thunder Steering form, and that was a very good play on his part, because I did predict him to do something else. But luckily he wasn't Scarf, because his Rotom was Scarf. He was probably Expert Belted, so that allows my Starmie to outspeed him and go for the Hydro Pump, and his Rotom, because he tricked my Ferrothorn, the Choice Scarf, Starmie can outspeed him again, and that crit did not matter because the Hydro Pump was in the rain. And now Terrakion comes in. He could have gone for the Stone Edge, but I really was banking on him going for the X Scissors, so I switched out into Jirachi, who always obviously takes that very nicely. And now I know he has to switch out, so I'm just going to spam Thunder. If he did stay in, I try to get the Terrakion paralyzed. If not, the Heatran will die to 2 more Thunders. I'm not sure if the first Thunder was min damage or this one was max damage, but either way, it will be enough to take out this Heatran. And he is down to his final Pokemon, which is his Terrakion. And he's going to choose to lock himself into close combat. I know Jirachi can take 1, and I was pretty sure I can finish off the game with the Iron Head here, but I chose to go for Thunder, trying to get the paralysis. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen, but it doesn't matter because I do have 3 other guys left, so this basically just lowered the score. So I'm going to send out my Starmie safely. And then, because I outsped him right here, it did prove that he was a banded variant. So that is great game, Wargiam or whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really appreciate a like or a comment down below saying how I can improve or stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for the next upload.